Hello everyone, we are from Group 3. Today we are going to talk about an article titled Ambiguity. What is it that needs representing and what needs resolving? The first slide will be presented by me, Kiflan Dzaki Ghifari.
What is the background of the research? Background of the research discussed in this article is the phenomenon of ambiguity in natural language and the challenges associated with its representation and resolution. The paper acknowledges that many words and phrases in human language lack precise, universally agreed upon definitions, and they can have multiple meanings and senses. The researchers implied that ambiguity, the central focus of the research, is defined as the occurrence of a word or phrase having multiple possible meanings, which is a pervasive and complex issue in human communication. The research itself is multidisciplinary, drawing from philosophy, linguistics, cognitive science, and artificial intelligence. What are the research problems? The research addresses the lack of uniformity in the theoretical treatment of ambiguity and the tendency to avoid specifying the commitments embodied in the representation and resolution techniques. The lack of uniformity addressed in this research is the inconsistent use of terminology and the absence of explicit definitions for the phenomenon of ambiguity. Different domains use terminology in different ways to avoid committing to a specific understanding of ambiguity. The lack of uniformity creates difficulties in understanding and studying ambiguity. Thus, the research aims to clarify the terminology and provide a comprehensive analysis of the nature of ambiguity. What does the research focus on? The main focus of the research discussed in this article is to clarify the concept of ambiguity and its nature in natural language. The article explores the different definitions and approaches to ambiguity and its relationship with phenomena such as vagueness. The article delves into different views on the nature of ambiguity, its historical context, and its role in communication. Some perspectives see ambiguity as a property of terms, specifically lexical ambiguity, while others consider it a broader phenomenon that arises from the underdetermination of natural language. This underdetermination can lead to different semantic interpretation of language at various levels, such as syntax and pragmatics. Debate exists regarding whether ambiguity hinders effective communication by causing misunderstandings and confusion, or whether it can actually enhance communication by allowing for flexibility and creativity in language use. In summary, the research aims to shed some light on the nature and implications of ambiguity in human language.
The next slide will be presented by Edwin.
Hello everyone, my name is Oktavian, and I will continue this. What is the method? The author proposed a multidisciplinary perspective to achieve a clearer understanding treatment of ambiguity. They analyze the phenomenon of ambiguity in contrast to semantics such as vagueness, generality, positioning, and meaning. The purpose for seeing a clearer understanding and treatment of ambiguity in the document involves a multidisciplinary perspective. It emphasizes the need for richer semantic representation and suggests considering step of deciding, in context, whether there is a need for disambiguation technology. The document also highlights the importance of theoretical analysis in identifying challenges and finding ways to overcome them. How does the researcher get the data? The article does not explicitly mention how the researcher obtained data for their research on ambiguity. The article focuses more on analyzing the nature of ambiguity and discussing its implications rather than presenting empirical data or conducting experiments. Therefore, it can be inferred that the researcher did not collect specific data for this particular research, but instead relied on exciting retroactive and multidisciplinary perspective to analyze the phenomenon of ambiguity. The paper appears to focus on analyzing the concept of ambiguity and its implications rather than collecting new data. It likely relied on exciting literature and multidisciplinary perspective rather than conducting an experiment or surveys to explore the topic. This approach is common in theoretical and qualitative research. where the goal is to synthesize exciting knowledge and provide a comprehensive understanding of a complex phenomenon. How does she or he analyze the data? The document described appears to be a comprehensive exploration of the nature of ambiguity and its relevance within the field of natural language processing. While it does not delve into specific data analysis methods or techniques, it lays a solid foundation for understanding the broader context of ambiguity and semantic heterogeneity in language. Some of the key points and concepts covered in the document. First is ambiguity and its implication. The document likely discusses the various forms of ambiguity, such as lexical and structural ambiguity. Lexical ambiguity arises from words with multiple meanings, while structural ambiguity is caused by the presence of word in a sentence. Two is vagueness. In addition to ambiguity, the document may discuss vagueness. Vagueness relates to implicit or quasi-meanings of words and expressions. It could explore how NLP systems deal with vague language with its common in everyday communication. Three is word sense disambiguation. The document may highlight the need for robust WSD methods, which are essential for understanding the correct meaning of words in context. It could mention algorithms and approaches used for USD, such as supervised and unsupervised methods, knowledge based on techniques or neural network based models. Four is semantic heterogeneity. The notion of semantic heterogeneity in language may be explored in more detail. Semantic heterogeneity refers to the dispersed ways in which words and phrases can have different meanings or connotation depending on the context, culture, or individual perspective. The next slide will be read by Faizah.
Who are the participants? Participants in this research refer to academics, scholars, and specialists from many domains such as philosophy, linguistics, cognitive science, and artificial intelligence who have contributed to the study of ambiguity. The research acknowledged the involvement of philosophers, linguists, and AI researchers in the ambiguity study. Philosophers investigate the conceptual dimensions of ambiguity, linguists investigate its linguistic qualities, and AI researchers utilize technology to examine and address ambiguity in language processing. By recognizing the involvement of specialists from various domains, the research emphasizes the multidisciplinary nature of ambiguity studies and the significance of collaboration in gaining a thorough understanding of its complicated phenomenon. Whose theories are applied? This research makes no mention of which theories are being used. However, it does explore many ideas and viewpoints on ambiguity. It states that ambiguity has piqued the curiosity of philosophers dating back to ancient Greek philosophy, and that linguistics and cognitive science have also contributed to a better understanding of ambiguity. This research delves into ambiguity, drawing from various theories and perspectives without specifying their origins. It underscores the complexity and historical importance of ambiguity. The study also highlights the valuable contributions of linguistics and cognitive science in understanding ambiguity's multifaceted nature, particularly its structural aspects in different languages and its impact on human cognition. Furthermore, it emphasized the practical application of artificial intelligence in word meaning discrimination or WSD. Overall, this research takes a comprehensive interdisciplinary approach to studying ambiguity, encompassing philosophical, linguistic, cognitive, and computational perspectives. How does she or he apply the theory? This research does not attribute the application of the theory to specific individuals, but it does highlight the necessity of capturing more accurately the semantic diversity of language and the significance of context in determining whether dispersion is required. The research emphasizes the important role of context in determining whether disambiguation, the process of resolving meaning, is reasonable. The intended meaning of ambiguous word is often best explained through context, as the same word can have multiple meanings depending on its linguistic environment. Furthermore, This research alludes to the potential challenges encountered in distinguishing between polysemous terms, which have multiple meanings and are closely related. This suggests that current disambiguation methods may need improvement to avoid over-enthusiastic interpretation, as overly strict disambiguation may oversimplify the language. And the next slide will be read by Rafli.
Hello, my name is Rafli Juliansyah and I will continue the presentation. Explain the analysis. The analysis in the provided context focus on the phenomenon of ambiguity in natural language. It highlights the lack of uniformity in the theoretical treatment of ambiguity and the tendency to not specify to the commitments embodied in representation and resolution techniques. The paper explored ambiguity from a multidisciplinary perspective, contrasting it with other semantic issues such as vagueness, generality, polysemy, and homonymy. The analysis highlights the significance of taking into account the contextual decision of whether or not disambiguation is essential, and implies that the field of ambiguity could benefit from richer semantic representation. It also suggests using subsets of sense for resolution rather than total disambiguation when feasible, raising worries about oversimplifying term semantics. Conclusion. The conclusion of the analysis on ambiguity and its implication for representation and resolution techniques in natural language processing is that there is a lack of uniformity in the theoretical treatment of ambiguity. The article suggests that richer semantic representation are needed, as well as considering the step of deciding, in context, whether there is a need for disambiguation or not. It also highlights the importance of not over-specifying the semantic of term and suggests the use of subsets of sense for resolution when possible. Overall, the paper emphasizes the need for theoretical analysis to identify challenges and provide insight for overcoming them in the field of ambiguity in natural language processing. Our opinion, the analysis on ambiguity in natural language processing presents the opinion that there is a lack of uniformity in the theoretical treatment of ambiguity. It highlights the need for clear commitments in the proposed representation and resolution techniques. The paper suggests that ambiguity should be viewed as a phenomenon arising in communication, resulting from the underdetermination of natural language. It emphasizes the importance of considering the contextual decision on whether disambiguation is necessary or not. The analysis concludes that the field could benefit from richer semantic representation and a holistic approach to resolving ambiguity. That's all from our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.